Bulletcast for life.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You know the name, you know the voice, you know exactly why I'm here. Just in case if you don't, I'm the Podfather, the Messiah of the microphone, the greatest sports recreational podcast in the world today, and I'm still your undisputed Bulletcast champion. And I'm joined by, and for the first time in a while, like we're breathing the same air. He is the creator of the award-winning Under the Radar, creator of Curveballs and Chair Shots, first ever BC champ, 5-time BC champ, if I'm not mistaken. He's wearing gorgeous Oakland A's garb. He is the Canadian Destroyer. Brandon, how's it going, buddy?
It's going great. Just came back from the A's game, my 4th A's game in a row. You know, I'm an A's Access member, so
Yeah.
you know I get into all the games, even if I don't have a ticket for it. It's great. They got a win, got to sweep 3 in a row. It's nice to be here. It has been a long time. I think it's been since Double or Nothing in Vegas since we've actually seen each other in person.
I know, this is the first time we're breathing the same air, people. It feels nice, but we're not alone.
I know.
We have somebody else. You know, we don't have the young boy or Mex Mendoza or Ulysses. Introduce yourself to the people, man.
My name is Scott.
All right. What about you, Scott?
I'm a wrestler for. I'm training right now to be a wrestler for BTW.
They're like, you know how WWE doesn't mention Chris Benoit? That's what they are on this show.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You're new. It's okay. It's okay, man.
I'm nervous.
Yeah, I met Scott at the APW Bay Area Bash show. The main event was Jungle Boy versus Superstar Jake Atlas for the juniors title. It was an incredible match. I interviewed AJ Kirsch and Dave Dutra, former Yolo County Tag Titles champions. Did you see the interview?
I have seen the interview. Hopefully Heavy Machinery comes back and defends those titles.
Yeah, you know, they basically welcomed me with open arms to be a manager, possibly a 6-man Yolo County Tag Titles in the works. I don't know, but we'll see. Shout out Baby Huey for being the photographer behind the scenes for that one. It was funny. Shout out to my coworker Zach for being the videographer.
I did not know Yolo County is actually a real thing.
This is real, man.
It's a real county in California, up near
real.
Sacramento. I did not know this until
Yeah, I live up there.
you know I hit the Google machine.
You see, this is real, man. So if you want to hop on the bandwagon, you know, I'll talk to AJ and Dave, and we'll see what's up. You know.
Sure. I mean, you know, we need to be in person more often. So
Exactly, man. You know, King of the Indies is coming up July 5th. You down?
Well, you know, July 5th, I'm going to be in Portugal. I'm going to be,
Okay.
across the pond. And I put in my notice last week that I'm not going to be here for the next couple weeks. I see you got my replacement for me.
This is a trial run. But, you know, I don't know what I'm doing next week. It might be a one-man show next week. I don't know. We'll find out.
Under the Radar is still going to come next week on Monday.
Hey, there you go.
No days off.
All right, yeah, there you go, Mr. No Days Off.
Except for the next 13 days after that. Then I get the days off.
We'll see. Let's hop into it. Outside of the ring, All Out sold out in 15 minutes. Sears Center, Chicago. I put in the press passes request for StarCast, so you know maybe Brandon and I will be amongst the thousands. Some of them may have been at Double or Nothing. Thoughts on All Out selling out that quick?
I mean, it's a big deal. I mean, half the time it took for All In to sell out in 30 minutes, and there's screenshots of people in the queue saying that there's like 50,000 people in front of them, so maybe that's just people doubling up and having different accounts. Maybe there's actually a legit 40-plus thousand people that are in there waiting to get tickets. It's a good sign. I mean, AEW, as we've kind of talked about, maybe the hottest promotion in the world right now. There's a lot of good buzz surrounding them, and they've added a new match, which is going to get me excited definitely for the show.
Yeah, we got Moxley going up against Omega. Thoughts on All Out selling out that quick and Mox versus Kenny?
It's okay. It's not that big of a deal. No one listens to this anyways.
Whoa, wait.
Except for the thousands and billions of people.
Yeah, exactly. So you got any thoughts on it, man?
No, I don't. But I hear it's gonna be.
You all right?
Yeah.
You okay? You're just talking to us, man. All right, well let's move on from that. All right, we got Dana Warrior. She is facing some criticism and backlash for her Pride post that she posted, and it's not really what she put. It's the face paint of the Ultimate Warrior, her deceased husband, Jim Hellwig, who, in his lifetime, he said some pretty racist and bigotry things. such as Martin Luther King walked a couple blocks, a big deal, and then of course his comments about people who are homosexual and stuff like that. But he never apologized for any of this before he died, which is the really big thing. So Brandon, I know you're not the biggest Ultimate Warrior fan. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I saw this the day it came out. I don't know who liked it or who retweeted. I was like, oh, that is not a good look for the. I mean, as you said, it's not the message. It's just her embodying the Ultimate Warrior and saying, oh, she stands for LGBTQ rights and everything. When he said some pretty atrocious things about the gay community, and I mean, as you said, he never apologized to it. I think the WWE, I've talked about it. Maybe that's just I don't know what you would call it, the vigor and the character of the Ultimate Warrior is different than Jim Hellwig, the man.
But then he changed his name to Warrior, so they're the same.
Exactly. The line is blurred, and I mean, I don't exactly know if she issued an apology, if they've really stepped back on what she posted, but I mean, that's definitely not a good look, and I think I'm proud and I'm happy that people are recognized and they heard me. I opened everyone's eyes to this, and everyone's angry at the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, we're not even joking around. Seriously, after Brandon said that on, I forgot what episode that was, then I start to see on social media people tearing down Warrior for the things he said. So Brandon's opening gates here.
I'm a trailblazer out here.
You really are. No, because I mean, the Warrior Ward is supposed to embody what the Ultimate Warrior was. He was a bad wrestler who snarled, and he was big, and he was a bodybuilder. That's what the Ultimate Warrior was. Name it after Roman just beat leukemia. Name it after him, or name it after Sue Atchison, who's in charge with getting WWE involved with the Make-A-Wish. Name it after somebody like that, not this guy who said these disgusting things. So it's just.
But in wrestling at that time, when the Ultimate Warrior was wrestling, that's what wrestling was looking for. That's what they were looking for. They were looking for the big bodybuilder types, show off their muscles, show off what they got. And now we got guys like Ricochet, and we got all these high flyers who are kicking these big guys in the butt, and there's nothing they can do about it because they're ruling the world right now.
No, yeah, I mean, we get it. That was that time. You had to be 6'5" and 280 or whatever, but that's not they're saying the award embodies what the Ultimate Warrior was. The Ultimate Warrior was not a good person, so you're saying that if you win this award, you're embodying bigotry and homophobia. That's basically what WWE's saying, and they're not in the best light because of their ties with Saudi Arabia and the corruption that goes on over there, but they're not going to change it, so maybe there's no point in talking about it. I don't know, but it's not a good look, especially for where we are in 2019 and how much wrestling in the world has evolved. It's just not a good look.
Shout out to What Culture. I watched their video over the weekend, and the Ultimate Warrior has the highest winning percentage of any wrestler in WWE history.
Over Hogan and John?
Yep.
Really?
I think Hulk Hogan's a little bit ahead of John Cena. I think Bushwhacker Luke is actually ahead of Hogan, which is pretty astounding.
I met Bushwhacker Luke. I was one of the first wrestlers I ever met. He was a nice guy.
Shout out to Bushwhacker Luke.
Yeah, shout out. Back at the old APW garage in Hayward. Shout out. Yeah, but so let's just step away from that. Well, speaking of Hulk Hogan almost OJ's his wife. And speaking of OJ Simpson is on Twitter for any of you the people that want to go follow him.
25 years ago, a couple days ago.
Yeah, that was the burial of Nicole Brown Simpson, and then when he posted his first message was the 25th anniversary of the Jeep chase, the Bronco or whatever.
It's a Bronco.
It was a Bronco. I'm sorry.
A Bronco's a Ford. Shout out. I have deep ties. My birthday, my baby shower was that day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well, I'm gonna read you what Hulk Hogan said in a recent interview. I could have turned everything into a crime scene like OJ cutting everybody's throat. He said this in a CNN interview, and when he's talking about, of course, his divorce from Linda Hogan and how it got pretty ugly. Any thoughts on the old Hulkster saying stuff like that? Just adds more
Fuel onto the fire.
Yeah, man.
I mean, he said some things in the past. I don't exactly know, what the hell you're really talking about here. I mean, what you said he almost OJ'd his wife. I mean, he's saying he almost killed his wife because he was it the steroids?
I don't know. It was a pretty nasty divorce.
He had a bout of roid rage, but I mean, it is what it is. I'm not gonna. Hulk Hogan's already kind of down on the list for me as it is. It's not.
Yeah.
It's really hard for him to be even further down at this
Well,
point.
Terry Bollea said that's not Hulk Hogan.
Okay.
Let's be clear.
Oh, there's a difference.
Yeah.
So the character of Hulk Hogan's cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
remember
he
the
made
Gawker trial?
I mean, he made an appearance on Raw. Yeah, this week. I was kind of surprised. I was like, he just out of the blue, he's wishing good luck to the U.S. women's team. Shout out to them, undefeated. Beating Thailand 13-0.
There we go, man. That's how we do it. That's how we do it. You have any thoughts on old Terry saying these things? Yes? No? Nothing? Alright. Well, Mike and Maria Kanellis apparently have signed new deals with WWE, and apparently these are for 5 years. Pro Wrestling Sheet has reported this. Brandon, what do you think about, if this is true, Mike and Maria being locked up for the next 5 years?
Well, Maria was very outspoken on social media that her contract is up, whatever it was, in a few months, and then she said the 9-day countdown. She posted all these other things. Then in the end, they just end up signing with WWE. So, I mean, I feel like I got work because I thought, she's. It's, I think Maria was really just kind of playing into all this other stuff that's going on right now with Sasha Banks and Luke Harper, and maybe the whole time she knew she was going to stay and they were going to re-sign. And I mean, shout out to Maria and Mike. I mean, I don't watch 205 Live. I don't know if anybody really does. But
I do.
Oh, we have a 205 watcher.
I
in
watched
the house.
205 Live. On 205 Live, this last 205 Live, what happened is first of all, Mike and Maria Kanellis were upset at the 205 Live manager, Drake Maverick, because after SmackDown, he drove off with the 24/7 championship, and they feel like he doesn't fulfill his duties as manager of 205 Live, and that he's not doing his job. And then they also interject themselves in a interview with Jack Gallagher, and Jack
Gallagher's still employed?
Yes, he is.
The
gentleman, Jack Gallagher.
Maybe I need to tune into 205 Live, man. I don't know. I know they got a Chad Gable down there. I was kind of keeping tabs on him when my boy Buddy Murphy was on TV.
Yeah, last week on 205 Live, it was Jack Gallagher versus Chad Gable in Chad Gable's first match on 205 Live, and Chad Gable won via count out because Jack Gallagher can get in the ring before the count of 10.
That is the most 205 Live has ever been talked about on this show. It may never be talked about that much again.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's whatever, man. Just we've never gone in depth about 205 Live. All right. Well, David Hart Smith he's done with New Japan Pro Wrestling. He's going on to other endeavors, and then Juice Robinson is done with Ring of Honor because he feels like it devalues his credibility in New Japan.
ROH, I feel like it's kind of just floundering up at this point. I talked a little bit about it Under the Radar. Go check it out. Whole preview of the G1 Climax 29. It's, I don't know exactly if this has to do with New Japan and ROH, if it was just, Juice himself picking, not wanting to go to ROH anymore. But I do kind of feel his sentiment that I think Juice might be above ROH at this point, and if he wants to focus his career primarily on New Japan and work in Japan mostly, maybe do some indies here and there. Good for him. David Hart Smith done with New Japan. He's okay. I mean, he's kind of a lower card guy over there in New Japan, not doing a whole lot. Hopefully, maybe he signs a contract with AEW. Maybe he just goes on the indie scene. No real hot takes on old David Hart Smith.
Yeah, I saw him walking around at Starcast. Very tall gentleman. Very large man.
He's got very sparkly outfit.
Yeah, he's very stylish.
He's a snazzy dresser.
Maybe we need to step our games up, Brandon.
I think I'm feeling pretty snazzy right now. I got the Yeezys on deck.
Okay.
Shout out.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm styling, profiling. Woo! I don't know about you guys.
I don't know what to say to any of it. I don't. We have to keep going. Nyla Rose, she was in the Fatal 4-Way at All Elite Wrestling's Double or Nothing. She's the first openly transgender wrestler. There was an article done about her on Sports Illustrated. They dropped it yesterday or a couple days ago. I had no idea. I didn't. Well, shout out to her. Equal rights, equal equality in wrestling. We have people like Darren Young and Sonny Kiss being
Shout out Sonya Deville, very underrated.
Sonya Deville, yeah, being open gay performers in pro wrestling, and then so that's awesome. I really didn't know.
I mean, I didn't know either. I thought it was very surprising when I saw it on Twitter yesterday, and she talked about how Kenny Omega, she kind of just got picked out of the blue from him. I mean, shout out Kenny, definitely someone that's entrenched in the gay community, helping them out there, and I had no idea that she was transgender. I mean, shout out to her. I mean, it's pro wrestling. It's not a real sport. I have thoughts.
Whoa.
I mean, it's not. Come on.
Hold yourself. Hold yourself.
It's not real. Let's be honest, guys. I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry. I don't want to burst your bubble.
Look, I'm a shoot wrestler, but I've been in the ring. I've taken some bumps, man. Those do not feel pretty.
So if I were to come over there and put you in a headlock and throw your butt on the ground, you tell me that's not real? You're going to tell me that's not real? Is a broken neck fake? Is it?
No, it's not.
Thank you.
The young boy.
You gotta watch him. You gotta watch him.
Well, this is my tag team partner right here, man. We're like Tully and R and the Usos right here.
Young boy better watch out for him. Minoru Suzuki his ass.
Like this is my day. This is my day one right here. No, but
anyways, I mean, shout out to LaRose. I mean, I haven't really watched any of her. I've seen the match that she had at Double or Nothing. I thought it was a really good match. I don't really know any other stuff she's done. Hopefully she improves. I mean, she's definitely kind of one of the centerpiece wrestlers in that division. I think she can be a very strong heel. And, she also has that niche audience of her being transgender. Good for her.
Good for her. Shout out. All right.
I'm just hoping this doesn't, alienate people who are transphobic and homophobic and all that other stuff to AEW. And honestly, if you don't want to watch AEW because they have a transgender wrestler, who cares? We don't need you.
Yeah, like I said, the world has evolved and wrestling has evolved, but there are still those people out there. All right. So let's hope I don't butcher this. Nishon Lucha Libre. So this is a promotion that is being started up by Alberto El Patron and Chavo Guerrero. Some of the stars that they have are Alberto El Patron, Chavo Guerrero, oh my god, I can't even say that. Phantasma, Sexy Star. Wow, they employed her. LAX, Puma King, Lucha Bros, Ray Horace, Laredo Kid, and Carlito, Bram, MVP, and Ricardo Rodriguez, just for some names former WWE stars, Impact stars. So thoughts on Chavo and Alberto starting up a promotion?
Good for them. I'm probably not going to watch it. There's just so much wrestling up to this point. Yeah. I don't watch AAA or CMLL, and if I'm going to watch Lucha Libre, I probably would watch that instead. Yeah. Some big names associated with it. I don't think they're going to, run a AAA or CMLL out of business or anything like that, but more jobs for more wrestlers. Good for them.
Yeah, everybody's making money. Got to make your money, boo-boo. All right, Glow, the Netflix series that comes back on August 9th. Congratulations. Can't wait to see it.
I mean, I love that show. I'm definitely waiting to see what happens. They kind of got their, whatever it is. Like, they got a gig in Vegas. They're going to be have a residency there, so that's kind of the new season. Hopefully we get some more Easter eggs and some more cameos. Should be fun. Yeah. Should be a fun season.
Allison Brie does a great job. Mark Maron, he does a great job. He has a podcast, WTF. Go check it out. He interviewed President Obama when he was in office back in 2015. Go check that out.
And some fellow Netflix news. WWE, I guess, signed a partnership with Netflix to create a movie. It's already in production.
Really?
It's like almost kind of like Mike, where there's this kid who finds some magical mask and he becomes a wrestler or something like that.
And he grew up to be El Torito.
Maybe.
There you go.
Maybe.
All right, last up, WWE to Harvard Business School. So yes, beginning this fall, Harvard Business School will offer a case study on WWE as a part of Anita Elbers's course, The Business of Entertainment, Media, and Sports. Wow, WWE making its way to the big leagues, Ivy League schools.
I wish they had that about 5 years ago.
Yeah, maybe I can go over to Harvard Business School, major in that real quick, show them how it's done. So these jamotes my wrestling historianism.
Maybe once I, last semester over at SF State, I'll graduate there. Maybe I'll go over, get my master's at Harvard, and I'll take this class.
Exactly.
Another 20 years in college for me.
That's just how it goes, man.
Money.
Yes, gotta make you money, boo-boo. All right, inside of the ring, Kota Ibushi, apparently he had vision loss, or is suffering vision loss after his match at Dominion with Tetsuya Naito for the NJPW Intercontinental title. Brandon, you're a big Japan guy. Have you heard anything about this? Do you know anything about Kota's injury?
I did not know that Kota apparently suffered vision loss, but as I said on Under the Radar, go check that out on the YouTube channel because it's a little bit dated. I have the full Dominion recap. I thought this match was really good, but the match itself just came to a screeching halt with when Kota Ibushi took that nasty bump on the outside ring apron, and he just hits his head, glancing blow, but that's all it needs to take for a severe concussion. And as much as I love Naito and Ibushi, and they think they have great matches, I reluctantly pick them to be the G1 Climax final. I hope they don't do this again, try to kill each other. I don't know what exactly his status is going into the G1. Obviously, if he has vision loss and some sort of concussion-like symptoms, as much as I would love to see him wrestle, I think his health is first and foremost. If he needs to be taken out of the G1 because he's hurt, take him out, and keep on the sidelines. Sometimes you got to save the wrestlers from themselves.
Yeah. So hopefully they get better or whatever. Moves like that on the apron, you don't need to be doing it. You can have a great match without any dives or.
But that's how you get that pop.
You don't need a pop like that, man. Like,
we're gonna talk about it on the match pick of the week. Super hot crowd. Honestly, didn't do a whole lot, but it doesn't really matter about if you do a bunch of flippy doos as long as the crowd buys into it and if they love it. That's all that matters, and as long as it draws money, because wrestling is about drawing money, not getting crowd pops and getting 5 stars.
Look at Cody and Dustin. Like, was there really a dive in that match?
I believe Dustin took a dive.
There was a suicide dive. Okay, but other than that, like they told a great story. You don't need dives to get a pop out of a crowd. One dive outside of the ring doesn't mean that this match is awesome. That chant is annoying and stupid.
Well, there are some wrestlers that's what they're known for. That's how they do it.
Dude, learn some psychology.
Like you see these high flyers do all these flips. That's all they know. You don't watch 205 Live, but I'm gonna go back to it. 205 Live, Drew Gulak tried to teach Humberto Carrillo, tried to tell him you need to stay your feet on the ground, stop doing high flying, and then Humberto Carrillo said whatever to Drew Gulak, and now Humberto Carrillo is doing high flying and doing awesome on 205 Live.
Well, speaking of high flying, let's get into it. The Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, lost their AAA Tag Team Championships to the Lucha Bros, Rey Fenix and Pentagon. It was bound to happen sooner or later.
Yeah, I originally picked the Young Bucks to take the loss
at Double or
Nothing, and that's one of the reasons why I'm not holding the championship at this day. But we're not going to talk about that because I thought eventually the Lucha Bros were going to get their tag team titles back, but it made sense for the Young Bucks to get a title defense on their soil. The Lucha Bros win on their soil, and the Young Bucks talked about it, that this might have been one of the hottest crowds they ever worked in front of. Mexico, super crazy, no pun intended. It's a great atmosphere, for better or for worse at sometimes, and I probably should go look out to find this match, because it seems like it's a hell of a show and a hell of a match. But I also saw, I don't know if you saw the clip of was it Aerostar? Somebody jumped off from the scaffolding and jumped off the freaking thing, and he almost died.
Yeah, he was stretchered out.
Yeah, that's
it was not good.
Not a good sign there. But shout out to the Lucha Bros. The tag team division is looking pretty good in AEW. I would not mind if we see a dozen more of those matches between those two tag teams.
Yeah. Well, speaking of AAA again, we're still going with the show. Scarlett Bordeaux, she was groped by a fan during her performance that night. I'm going to read what she posted on Twitter. What I wear is completely irrelevant. Could be a string bikini or a snowsuit. It doesn't matter. My body is mine, and you cannot touch me without my permission. Most fans I encounter are respectful, awesome people, and I appreciate you. And the second tweet she put out was, "It's never okay to touch a performer without their consent. I didn't realize what happened until I watched the footage afterwards. Being so in the moment after a dive with my back turned, otherwise I would have reacted differently." So, guys, don't be weird when you meet female performers. Don't do that. Don't grope them. Don't be weird. That's just not okay.
Don't be stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, don't do any of that. Plus, Scarlett Bordeaux has been released from her contract from Impact Wrestling, so AEW bound?
Possibly. I mean, I think she's a good fit with AEW. I've said this on the show before that I think she's a better wrestler than I think people give her credit for.
Absolutely.
They see her, in the skimpy outfits, shaking her butt, and they might think, oh, she's just, a sex symbol and she doesn't really do anything. But
smoke show.
She has a really good character. I think she's a good wrestler. And I think she's going to improve, within the next few years. And if she does go to AEW, because I think if she does, she could go to WWE, but I think her gimmick is a little too sexy for WWE. I think they're going to try to dial back, even though we could say that they are bringing more of the Divas division back with, Carmella, Mandy, and Sonya, and all them people. But I think Scarlett, if she's going to go to one promotion in particular, I think obviously AEW is good. Maybe ROH if her and Killer Cross, if Killer Cross gets out of his contract, if he wants to go somewhere. But I think if I'm Killer Cross, I'm telling him to save out and go to either WWE or AEW because I'm really high on Killer Cross.
Yeah, I think he's a really great performer. Didn't get a chance to talk to him at Starrcast. Met Scarlett, like I said before, great talent. All right, moving on from that, Dana Brooke, she got busted open on a main event. The picture's been surfing around social media. It looked like a pretty nasty cut. Hopefully she gets all nice and well. Yeah. All right.
Shout out Dana Brooke.
Shout out Dana Brooke.
As much as I make fun of her for her trying to cry and complain about getting a spot. She does her job, and no one deserves to get busted open like that.
Yeah.
Obviously an accident. I think it was Sarah Logan she was wrestling.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, main event. I didn't know that was still a thing.
I think it's more like an international thing. They have their international deals. They got to supply it with the TV.
I got you. All right, King of the Ring 1994 was won by Owen Hart. Stan Stasiak dies on this day in 1997. He held the WWE Championship for about 8 days back in the day. Ken Shamrock wins the NWA title in 2002 in the first weekly tapings of NWA TNA. Capital Punishment 2011 was on this day. Randy Orton and Christian had a really nice match for the World Heavyweight title. Kofi Kingston and Dolph Ziggler went toe-to-toe, and then John Cena wrestled R-Truth in a WWE Championship match in which I believe R-Truth should have won. All right, Bobby Lashley wins the TNA title on this day in 2014. Money in the Bank 2016, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns all held the world title in the same night. Roman walks in champ. Rollins beats him in a match. Ambrose cashes in. It was great. This is also the same night that the Cavaliers beat the Warriors. Speaking of the Warriors, we don't need to talk about that. Speaking of the Warriors, man, what happened, dude?
Well, Klay Thompson goes down. You don't have KD. Torn Achilles, torn ACL. The Warriors got some injuries. Yes, they've had a little help from injuries in the past, but you over here talking of not knowing anything about basketball. Once the Raptors win the series, and then now you're just out here posting Drake pics like Drake is a part of the
dude,
honestly, the effing team.
Honestly, like that Canadian flag and that Drake, I have gotten some pretty. I cannot even mention the things that were said to me after I posted those things. Get out the bay, don't show your face in the town. It was some pretty vulgar stuff. Just, dude, look, I'm a fan of Canada. I'm a fan of Drake. It's okay. I support Toronto.
Shout out Kawhi Leonard. He is a national treasure, though.
Yeah.
Shout out to the video of him, rolling some loud up, allegedly. We all know he was partying it up.
Yeah. And Wahoo McDaniel would have been 81 years old today. So
I broke Wahoo's leg.
Okay.
Best wrestling shirt of all time.
Hey, man. Do you have it?
No. I probably should.
I know. Ted, was it Wrestling for Sale? Ted on Instagram. He gets all those vintage shirts. I might have to hit him up.
That's one of the things I was trying to look forward to at Double or Nothing at Starrcast. I wanted, like a nice collection of wrestling shirts that I could have tried to get some, but no vintage shirts. I was a little perturbed about that.
Well, if you want a wrestling shirt, Pro Wrestling Tee /Bulletcast. We're on there. Just go swoop you one of those bad boys. More
new designs coming soon. Maybe under the radar one. Who knows?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll give it the team and we'll figure that out. All right, let's get into the fan. Jesus, 28 minutes. We got to speed things up here. Jack of all trades. I always hear Philip talk about how he's old and washed. How old are you, and in what ways are you washed? I'm 23 years old and I'm out of my athletic prime. It's just the God's honest truth. When I coach wrestling and I wrestle these kids, I look like Goldberg out there.
He says he's an old gun, but I'm technically older.
Yeah.
I'm 24, about to be 25. Shout out birthday, July 18th. If y'all want to slide into the DMs.
Oh, we turning up?
Mm-hmm.
Can I invite Aubrey?
Sure, why not? Invite. I mean, he's he was yelling at Curry and all them, but he's really best friends with them. He probably likes Curry and them more than he likes Kawhi and all.
Fly out
and
to
all
the
them.
6, All right, let's moving on. Jack of all trades. Jericho has reinvented himself so many times. What's your favorite Jericho incarnation of Y2J? I'm gonna go with that 2008 Jericho wearing suits, slow talking low. using big words, calling people parasites and hypocrites, kind of like a Nick Bockwinkel to Jace. Yeah, that's my favorite Jericho. Still to this day.
My favorite Jericho, I think honestly, I would say I like New Japan Jericho. New Japan Jericho, maybe not now. I think he's a little bit too kooky and out there, but I do like his early incarnation that he had, going up against Naito and Kenny, and he still has a little bit of that to this day. But I just love old man Jericho just beating up everybody and cussing and all that other stuff. I do like the '09 Jericho, but I wasn't watching at that time, so I can't really speak to it like you can. I also like Sparkly Jacket Jericho, like Scarf Jericho. I like all Jerichos, even Lionheart Jericho.
Yeah, I like the back in WCW early '90s WCW Jericho.
Oh, Monday Night Jericho.
Monday Night Jericho, where he went out there on Dean Malenko and went.
Oh,
The one
the
Jericho's,
original list.
Yeah, the Jericho's 104 holds or 1,004 holds
Number
of
4,
Jericho.
armbar. That's great.
Number 5, arm drag.
All right, backwoods 420.
Shout out Ralphus.
When are any of the other cast members making a return? Honestly, maybe like if we do a reunion show in the future. But as far as like them being on weekly, I think I'm trying to move in a different direction.
Every time I drive to your house, I always got to drive by that other guy's house to get here.
Yeah, the other guy.
That other guy, I don't know what's happened to him. He might have fell in a hole somewhere and he hasn't gotten out.
He like LARPs and cosplays or whatever.
I know he Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's like an official verb, but he does the D&D.
he does do the D&D, baby. All right, well let's keep it going. Hootie hoo.
Hootie hoo, my boy.
Hootie hoo 420. All right. How do you guys come up with your match and promo picks of the week? Honestly, a lot of the times it's random. Like today did you have this planned or was it just super random for the one for today?
Well, mine, I was kind of looking at it because I picked something off the WWE Hidden Gems list. Definitely, definitely got to scroll through there and look at all those. But
Yeah.
a lot of the times when I'm thinking of something, usually I always try to go with the anniversaries, as we've done a lot of 99 stuff recently. But sometimes I just have a match like the Will Ospreay matches. I was like, okay, this match is really good. We have to talk about this. But I kind of like you. So I think I look for the anniversary first, then if there's nothing else, I go random.
Yeah, like if something's really hot at the moment, we'll choose that or me. Honestly, a wrestler will just pop in my head and I'll type in a match or promo of theirs and that's what I choose. That's just how it goes. Right.
There's like a WWE Network generator somewhere out there that you just like pick, randomize, and it'll just give you a random match that you can just go out and watch because there's so much stuff on the network.
Absolutely. All right. Last up was this Copenhagen guy. Here we go.
Shout out Copenhagen. Slide in the DMs late at the last minute.
Yes. Nice interview. Yolo County forever. Thank you, my guy. When does Wyatt debut? The anticipation is killing me. We'll talk about that a little later when we hop into Monday Night Raw. Let's hop into it right now. So, Ricochet becomes #1 contender for the United States Championship. He won a fatal 5-way elimination involving Braun Strowman, Bobby Lashley, The Miz, and who else was in that?
Braun Strowman?
Oh, Cesaro.
Cesaro, yeah. Cesaro was in that. There we go.
My man, there we go.
That's why the new kid's around. There we go. Mm-hmm. For moments like that.
You know it.
Woo, woo, woo.
Woo, woo, woo.
And you do know that.
Oh, all right. He has his own little catchphrases. We might have to keep this kid around. No, but yeah, so Ricochet is going up against Samoa Joe this Sunday at Stomping Grounds, because apparently that's a thing.
Where we kick ass and take names.
Exactly. There we go. So, Ricochet versus Joe. That's interesting. Thoughts on the match, guys?
Good match. I didn't like how Braun Strowman, it took 20 people for him to get eliminated, and then Ricochet ends up eliminating him in the end. Not exactly the best way to keep Ricochet strong, but then you keep Braun Strowman strong, which obviously they have Braun Strowman above Ricochet in the pecking order. But it was a decent match. Ricochet versus Samoa Joe definitely does get me a little bit excited for this pay-per-view, just because it's a fresh matchup. We haven't seen it before, and we'll get into more specifics later on when we do the predictions.
Oh, absolutely. Thoughts on the match?
It should be a good match because it's a very clash of styles. But the interesting
thoughts on the Fatal 5-Way?
Oh, the Fatal 5-Way? Yeah, it was kind of surprising. I thought that Cesaro was probably going to last longer in there because he's been given this big revamp. And
she did say that. Not to me, but she said that.
Not to me. Can I continue?
I mean, you can, man, yeah.
Anyway, so I was surprised that Cesaro got defeated so quickly because he's been given this big push and this kind of revamp and everything, you would think that he would have gone long. He would probably been the last with Ricochet or something like that, but it didn't happen. But other than that, the match was great, and it was a good match.
All right. Next up, we have the New Day defeating Baron Corbin, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn in I guess it was a 2 out of 3 falls 6-man tag team match. New Day 2-0.
Shout out New Day. Good for them.
Good for them. They did that. What else happened on Monday Night Raw? Seth Rollins went chaotic with the steel chair going up against anybody that would side with Baron Corbin, attempting to be his special guest referee. EC3 was a victim. Elias,
Eric Young.
Eric Young, yeah.
Eric Young was the B team. Wait, I think that was on SmackDown.
That was SmackDown. That was the Blue Brand.
Yeah, Blue Brand. Sorry, different show.
Same set, different colors.
Yeah, same set, different colors.
Yeah. So, but anyway, in the main event, Seth Rollins goes on to defeat one half the SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions, the new Daniel Bryan. When are we getting those hemp tag titles?
I don't know. I mean, it's the tag team division, so they don't really care about that all that much. Well, Seth Rollins just beating everybody up with a steel chair. I'm not the biggest fan of that. It's almost kind of like how he kicks Brock Lesnar in the nuts. It's not a very babyface thing to do. But it gets a pop from the crowd, and I guess if the crowd likes it, I just go along with it, I guess. The match itself with Daniel Bryan was fine. I didn't like how they had a schmaz in the middle, and they just restart the match at, why don't you just have a straightforward 15, 20-minute classic between Seth Rollins and Daniel Bryan? But it's good.
You got to be put in Seth Rollins' shoes. If Baron Corbin told you that he was going to pick a referee, but he could pick anybody, and Baron Corbin's Baron Corbin, wouldn't you be like, oh, I better be on top of things? See, Seth Rollins is trying to be on top of things. Wouldn't you be on top of things?
I'm always on top of things.
Hey, are you sure?
I am very sure.
Are you positive?
Positive.
100%.
100%.
Hey, my guy's on top.
I don't believe him.
My guy.
Eddie Hoots. I mean, the other thing is Seth Rollins just beating people up with chairs, and how is that going to stop them from, okay, you hit me with the chair, I'm not going to be that, does that disqualify them from being the special guest referee? Wouldn't that just make them want to be referee even more because they want to screw over Seth Rollins?
I know, but if
it's going to
someone...
be like a lumberjack referee match.
But if someone went up to you and told you, I'm going to keep hitting you with this chair unless you do what I say, aren't you going to do what they say?
Okay,
because they keep hitting you with the chair?
Okay, but when the match happens, let's say Elias is the referee, you're not going to smack Elias with the chair during the match. That's idiotic.
Yeah, but that would be a good idea because he's a champion, and champions... And if he gets disqualified, he still retains his championship, regardless, so it doesn't matter.
Shane McMahon's running the show. If Seth hits Elias with the chair, championship goes to Corbin. Now what do?
I'm going to have to think about that, but I'll come back to it.
There you go. All right, moving on from that. Becky Lynch and Lacey Evans have a promo. Becky hits her with a Bexploder, puts on her hat, and straddles away.
I mean, I like Lacey Evans. I think she has a great character. Definitely needs to work on the in-ring aspect. It's fine. Becky Lynch has kind of cooled off compared to what she was, a few months ago. But, we're getting another rematch, so it's not the hottest match in the world. But this entire pay-per-view Stomping Grounds, where we kick ass and take names, is a card filled with rematches. So, except for Ricochet and Samoa Joe, which is why I'm kind of excited for that match.
Yeah. Well, I think there's a Bryan and Rowan going up as heavy machinery. That's not a rematch.
You know what? Why you gotta poke holes in all my...
I'm sorry.
Come on.
I apologize.
We're supposed to be teaming up on the young boy. You're not supposed to go up against me, bro.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. Handicap match.
Thank
you.
Bring
it.
The Viking Raiders defeat Russ and Randy Taylor. Terry Taylor's kids? Maybe?
Possibly, but thank God the Viking Raiders are back on television.
I forgot they existed. I'm not going to lie to you.
I mean, AOP made an appearance on SmackDown, so maybe we're finally going to get a really good tag division. I say it every week, it feels like. Just combine the tag teams and just combine the tag titles, and maybe we can have a really good tag division. But it is what it is.
Wild card. All right, the phenomenal AJ Styles has a segment with the Good Brothers, and he's like, what are you guys doing? Why aren't you guys getting serious? And then the Good Brothers are like, watch what we do to the Usos. The Usos defeat the Good Brothers, and AJ just looks on with disdain. Club reunion?
Possibly. They put a little bit of TV time into the Good Brothers, which is nice to see. We haven't seen them in a while, but then they just end up losing to the Usos in a few minutes. So how much faith are they really putting into them? Maybe we do get a club reunion. I was talking about it back when Styles faced Seth Rollins. Maybe we get a heel AJ Styles. I wouldn't be opposed to that. Maybe freshen him up a wee bit. I'm a fan of the Good Brothers. I don't know what their contract status is looking like. Maybe they're going to be on the way out, but not the way I would use them at this moment. Just losing 3 minutes to the Usos.
Yeah, it's something, you know. Hopefully they get a nice push and give them some credibility, and let's see them in the tag division, man. What if the club just went down and raided NXT?
I'm all for that, because if you get someone down to NXT, move to NXT, because they're all the same. You know, they're all on the same level according to Triple H.
Yeah.
But I mean, I love NXT, and if you're gonna put some other people in there, I don't think they need it because there's enough talent over there. I need to watch my verbiage, or else Triple H is gonna come attack me.
No, I think Paul's a good guy. He won't do it.
Okay. I mean, I don't think they're gonna go to NXT, but I would like to see more of a mixture between, you know, WWE and NXT, where maybe, I don't know if they would want to tell that story of Dolph Ziggler. If he loses to Kofi Kingston, he goes to NXT to try to freshen up and try to, you know, work on some things, but then that also kind of showing that, like, NXT is kind of the minor leagues, and he's going down there to get a rehab assignment and then going to go back up to WWE. But hopefully the Good Brothers get out of the contracts and they go to AEW or New Japan.
We shall see. All right, the Women's Tag Team Championship, the Iconics. Oh, come on, man. Come on.
Iconic!
Oh, my. He stole the gimmick. He stole your gimmick. And he posed with it. Oh, come on, Matt. Come on, Bryan.
Can I move now?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, dude. Nobody's watching.
No one's watching.
All right. They defeat Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss. Oh, wow. They retained their tag championships against credible opponents.
The longest reigning women's tag team champions of all time.
I'm tired of hearing that. Okay, first of all, they're only the second champions in the title's history.
No,
first of all,
Technically, they're not.
No, they're not.
In the new revamp of the title is what I'm talking. You know what I'm talking about.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, continue.
Yeah, keep going.
Anyway, so they're only second to win the titles, and they keep on going to everybody, you know, bragging about it, and they barely even defend the titles ever.
That's
if they
what
do,
heels do.
The gall of them, Philip.
I know, they're like me, barely defending the Bullet Cast title.
Yeah.
You know, Peyton and Billy and I, we should all just chop it up. You know, I'll hit up Perfect 10, DM on Insta. I'll go chop it up with them. We can discuss our title reigns.
Shout out to In the Click with the Peyton Royce interview.
Yeah, shout out. You listen to the boys.
I do listen to the boys, and they also got the interview highlights up on the PW Torch. So, you know, I had to read that.
Oh, of course.
You know, shout out Wade Keller and the boys over there.
Shout out Wade Keller and the boys. Shout out some of the PW Torch boys I met at Starcast.
Mm-hmm. You know, wearing that exact same shirt got you famous.
The Vince shirt. I might be like the Brock Lesnar guy, dude, with the Vince shirt.
Going to all the AEW shows in a Vince shirt.
Exactly. That's what I'm gonna start doing. But yeah, I mean, that's just what heels do, bro.
I know, but I mean, even when they do defend the titles, they defend it against people no one's ever heard of.
Whoa.
The first team they faced was undefeated.
Okay.
They were formidable opponents.
Undefeated where? Again, if you can remember.
In their local promotion, dude. You gotta do your research, bro.
I do.
Bro, don't work yourself into a shoot.
I know, brother. God, you're about to hip toss yourself into a heart attack.
At least I can do a hip toss.
I can do a hip toss, kid. I can do a hip toss, back body drop.
I'll do it to you right now. Get up right now. We'll do it.
If you hip toss.
I wish we were on back in the studio.
Oh my God, this would have been great on camera. Oh Jesus,
it's been the best podcast ever if this was on camera.
Oh my God, yes. The audio will just have to do for the people.
You guys can picture it. In your mind.
You can picture all of this. No, but are we done talking about the Iconics? Can we move on?
Go ahead.
Shout out Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss.
Shout out. We're going to talk about them more when we get to SmackDown. Roman Reigns attacks Shane McMahon, beats the holy hell out of him, Superman punch, spear. Good time. It was a good time.
And then on SmackDown, they Miz shows it and does it in slow motion.
That's all nice.
I think Shane is definitely overexposed. He's on every single show.
Shane McMahon's beating Kofi Kingston for the WWE title. I'm gonna keep saying it till it happens.
It probably will happen. But Roman, I don't know if we're going to talk about this on SmackDown, but Roman is on SmackDown, and yet he was nowhere to be seen on the show, because when Miz did the whole thing in slow motion, I thought that Roman Reigns was going to be his tag team partner. It would have made sense, because Roman's the big dog, and he's going to try to beat up Drew McIntyre and Elias, but that didn't happen. So I don't know what the hell Roman Reigns is.
What we got on SmackDown was way better. It was awesome.
Yeah, we got the reunion of the awesome truth.
Yes,
the reunion we all been waiting for.
Exactly, man. 2011 was a great time. We're going to talk about that, but first we got to talk about the Firefly Funhouse.
We're really glad that you're our friends.
Oh my God.
And this is a friendship that'll never ever end.
We-
do 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 do.
We're at Firefly Funhouse karaoke. It's great. Oh my God.
Don't act like you don't like it.
Dude, I've never popped this much, dude. Yeah, oh my! I didn't even pop this much Double or Nothing weekend. This is something. God, this should be on the hidden gems section of the network, man. This is gold right here. No,
Platinum.
It's platinum.
It's platinum.
It's platinum, baby. There you go. No, but yeah. So the Firefly Funhouse. Bray talks about he knows what it's like to be separated and not picked or whatever. And then, the demonic version of him comes about, and he's just saying, let me in. Have you seen those memes of Aleister Black, the doors open, and then Bray Wyatt, let me in?
No, I have not seen the Aleister Black memes. I'm sorry.
They're quite entertaining. Maybe it leads to that. The doors open for Aleister, maybe Bray's just going to walk right in.
Well, Aleister just wants someone to pick a fight with him.
So, thoughts on the Firefly Funhouse?
I mean, I found it very entertaining. It was, definitely probably the creepiest one they've done yet. I think they're definitely inching towards his debut. I think maybe one more Firefly Funhouse. Maybe we get a debut on Raw. Maybe he's a special guest referee. Who I don't think it's going to happen, but you never know. I wish we could have got R-Truth goes into the Firefly Funhouse, and we could have got that segment. But I think now they kind of took that turn now that it's going to be more demonic and it's not going to be all happy Pee Wee Bray anymore.
Yeah.
Keep going. I just hope they don't do with Bray Wyatt what they did back in the '90s with Glacier on WCW, where they had
Glacier.
Where they had all these vignettes on him for like weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. All these vignettes, and he comes out, and it just didn't live up to the hype.
I saw Glacier at the Smoke and Mirror Cigar Hangout, Double or Nothing. Chatted it up with him. He's a really nice guy. I mean, that's kind of like Kazarni. He had all those vignettes back in 2008.
And he had, 2 matches, Kazarni?
Something like that.
Like 1 or 2 matches?
Yeah, now he's wrestling as like Simon Brody or something like that on the indies. I don't know. But the Firefly Funhouse, the theme song was remixed into like R&B and hip-hop and rap and like rock, and I dug all that. It fit all the vibes. All the East Bay vibes.
But we had the best rendition ever on the podcast right now.
Oh my God, yeah. Like I don't know, man. You're like our own Jeff Jarrett in here. I don't know. I dig it. But we're going to hop into SmackDown Live. So we have the Universal Champion, Seth Rollins. Yes, the red belt was on the blue brand.
Wild card rule.
I know. Wild card. This is wild card right here. This is as wild card as it gets.
It is wild.
Yeah. I take that as a compliment.
You're welcome. He teams up with the WWE Champion, Kofi Kingston, to defeat Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I guess another 2 out of 3 Falls tag team match. When did they start doing these?
Last week, 2 weeks ago.
Oh, so,
it's like what I feel like they do with these matches is they take a match that you don't see very often, and then they do it all the time. Like I remember there was a time where they did steel cage matches like crazy. They did handicap matches like crazy. They do elimination matches like crazy for a little short period of time, and then they stop doing them for a while, and then they do them all just like back to back, and then they get tired of it, and then 10 years later they do it again.
If that's the case, could we get a 6-man Texas Tornado match? I'd love to see that.
That'd be awesome.
I don't understand. Going off what the young boy said, I don't understand why they keep doing these elimination fatal 5, fatal 4-way matches. It just doesn't make any sense. It's unnecessary pins. Like you have to find a way to pin Braun Strowman, and then you have Ricochet, weekly pinning Braun Strowman after Braun Strowman gets 5 finishers put on him. But back to this match, I kind of saw the quick near falls the quick falls going because there was 15 minutes in the show, and you need to get at least 2 falls in there. Match was fine. I think you're kind of overexposing Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn just as much as you're Kingston and Rollins. I mean, you have the wild card rule, and it's just so loosely explained to where Sami Zayn said, whoever it was not on the list of being on the wild card rule, but then Kofi Kingston was like, "Oh, I'm the champ. I can do whatever I want." So then what's the exact rule behind the wild card? I want some rules in wrestling. I want it to make sense.
Well,
God forbid.
originally the wild card rule was only supposed to be 3 people, and then Lars Sullivan comes in Vince McMahon's office while Vince McMahon's on the phone, and he just stands there and stares at him. Vince McMahon goes, "Oh yeah, the wild card rule. There's 4 of them," and he looks at him and he just walks out.
Oh, Lars Sullivan is injured, by the way. He has like a knee injury.
Shout out Lars Sullivan.
Get well soon, I guess.
But I mean, you have such a, maybe not a deep roster, but such a large roster that you can have, a lot of people on the show, and you just are so reliant on, especially these 4 guys with Rollins, Kingston, KO, and Zayn. Shane is on there. Drew McIntyre is like on all the shows all the time. There's so many people. I don't know why they just keep using these same guys all the time.
Because they draw on people. They draw on Munty.
I don't know what Munty is.
Yeah.
Munty.
But they're definitely not drawing money.
I know what money is.
Munty. You know Munty?
I mean,
No.
I can go on Ticketmaster right now and go on the Stomping Grounds where they're kicking ass at taking names, and you can get like a 4th row ticket just like that, or 2nd row ticket just like that. They're not exactly selling out the Tacoma Dome.
Man. It's not. But seeing Rollins on SmackDown was kind of a breath of fresh air. Not gonna lie. A little bit. Anyway, so we have Dolph Ziggler, my boy, defeats Xavier Woods. Solid match. Decent.
It was a decent match. I mean, it makes sense to have Ziggler go over on Woods, kind of build him up, especially since Ziggler hasn't really been on TV wrestling a whole lot, and now getting him a win behind him.
Yes. My boy DZ with the super kick party.
I thought the promo to kick off SmackDown was pretty good. I would have dialed back the screaming a little bit for
It
Dolph Ziggler.
should have been me.
Shot it in sync.
Should have been.
And shout out to Big E wanting to implement the Freaky Hour on SmackDown. I did pop when he said that it has to, when it has to involve Xavier Woods. I definitely popped for that. I was dying.
Oh my god! You can't get rated R like your boy Xavier Woods. All right, then we had a moment of bliss. Bailey No, I'm not a fan of Bailey. It's probably because I support Canada. That's probably why. Just insulting Alexa Bliss, drinking her coffee, spilling her coffee, and attacking her at her own show. That's completely disrespectful.
So disrespectful. Shout out Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah, shout out Steve.
Stay off the weed.
No, but yeah, what are your thoughts on A Moment of Bliss?
It was a good segment. I mean, Alexa Bliss going into shoot territory, going in on Bailey. Maybe there is some real sentiments behind there because rumor has it that Alexa Bliss and Sasha Banks have heat. Maybe that, transfers over to Bailey because they're besties. And it was good. Good solid promo from Alexa Bliss. Nikki just hanging out in the background, kind of the wild card, you might say. Who knows what Nikki's going to do. And Bailey, she was fine. She cut a decent little babyface promo, but yeah, once again, you have a Raw wrestler wrestling for a SmackDown championship when there's plenty of women on SmackDown that could do this.
Absolutely. Young boy, you ever met Bailey?
Yes, I did.
How was that? She nice?
Yeah, she is nice. She's very nice.
Okay.
I met Bailey.
I got a hug, which
I
now write down on my, which is now checked off my bucket list. By the way,
you have an actual list, but I might actually have to see this list.
I'll show it to you.
Oh, there we go. Is it like the list of Jericho, or is it like Gable's list that he's writing down? Speaking of Chad Gable, let's talk about it. So, he was in the background taking notes after Andrade Cien Almas attacks Apollo Crews while Selena Vega was right there. Thoughts on the segment?
A good little segment between Selena Vega and Apollo Crews. Andrade comes back, beats down Apollo. It's short, simple things, but it makes me want to see Apollo get his hands on Andrade, and I don't know what Gable's doing. He debuted on 205 Live, so I just assume that's what he's going to be doing, but he's still on SmackDown. Does it carry over to 205 Live? Is he going to be on SmackDown in 205? Who knows, but I am intrigued of what Gable's doing.
I want to throw out my condolences to Andrade. His aunt just passed away, along with his mother, so it's just it's been a bad time in his life. Yeah.
Can I just say that Zelina Vega, who she was doing her makeup, whatever, and then Apollo Crews comes out and just looking for Andrade, and she goes, "What, are you flirting with me?" He's like, "What?" It just goes to show you that I think, in my opinion, that Zelina Vega, she's conceited.
Fuego. Oh, sorry.
Oh.
What did you think I was gonna say?
We have no idea.
Fuego.
Yeah, Fuego. Yeah. Flames. She looks very nice. All right, moving on.
I don't know what she was wearing. It was like some metal something. Anyways, she was
It was some kind of.
I bet you can imagine in your brain. It's fine, whatever. Keep going.
Shut up, Bailey, in them jeans.
In them jeans.
If we're just gonna go downhill, I mean.
I mean, yeah. Well, that's for the after hours, BC.
After hours.
Shout out Sean and Thicky Cross.
We're just going for it tonight, man.
Oh,
All
my.
right. Heavy Machinery, they defeated the B team, and they did not bring the Yolo County Tag Team Championships with them.
It's a damn shame.
That is.
It's almost like the Viking Raiders when they didn't bring the NXT Tag Team titles when they were on WWE for those 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's apparently they were defending these at house shows, and then they're not gonna bring them to TV. That's absurd.
If you want your own Yolo County Tag Team title, you can hit up AJ Kirsch and slide into his DMs. Apparently, he's selling for $10 each.
Yeah, people were buying them at a Bay Area Bash. Like, he sold out.
That's a hell of a gimmick. You just make some cardboard belts for like whatever, couple bucks, and you sell them for 10.
Yeah,
that's a good gig right there.
He'll be at a Hood Slam this Friday. I think he'll have some with him.
I actually think there were 15 each and then 25 for 2.
Wow.
If you want to get one for your friend.
We're just buying cards.
And you can be the Yolo County Tag Team Champions. Now, about the match.
Yeah, let's get back to the wrestling. Let's get back to the show, Philip.
I'm sorry, guys. The young boy's here to keep me on track.
Yeah, about the match, I really didn't think the B team, go, go, go. I don't think they go, or however you say it. They kind of just went, and then they got their butts kicked, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
Yes, they did.
Shout out Dana Brown on commentary. I thought he was good. Talked about the Bushwhackers at the beginning. He name dropped the Sheep Herders. I pop for that.
You see, Daniel Bryan's a wrestling purist, bro. He and we have a lot in common.
Daniel Bryan should never signed with WWE. Should have been all in. He could have been at Double or Nothing. Oh, that would have been just so hot.
Oh my, he's a gem. We don't deserve Daniel Bryan.
Just imagine we had Jon Moxley and Bryan Danielson on the indie scene right now.
Oh god,
they're both in the G1.
Oh my god.
I mean, I'd be scared for him just like I'm
That's
Kota
like
Ibushi, but
that's like the wrestling scene grabbing me by my jowls and just telling me to accept it. Like it's amazing.
It was destiny.
It should have been destiny.
It should have been destiny.
Elias and Drew McIntyre defeat the Awesome Truth.
yes, they did.
Yeah, Miz taking like 3 Claymore kicks. That Claymore kick is beautiful.
It is beautiful.
It's pretty. Can you do one of those, young boy? Can you do a Claymore?
I will try my best.
All right.
That's all we can ask for.
When you're at practice tomorrow night, you try to get as high as you can.
You got it.
Just hit that.
And when I'm doing it, I'll think of you and this guy over here.
Why are you touching his thighs?
Watch the hands.
Yeah.
No, I was doing it for. Never mind.
Yeah, that's a little creepy.
That's
Not the after hours yet. You can hold that.
That's not what I meant.
Illegal use of the hands, 15-yard penalty.
Exactly. That's 25 to life.
That's not what I meant.
Calm down, man. It's okay.
Don't work yourself into a shoot, brother.
Exactly, like I'm saying, dude. They don't teach you these things at the academy. Not to work yourself into a shoot.
That.
I mean, given the guy that runs the place, I would assume not. Just saying. Anyway, let's talk about Demandy's Donuts.
Is Jules there? Do you know Jules?
Oh yeah, is Jules there?
Yes, she is.
Shout out Jules.
Jules, I do appreciate her. She was nice.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, first match.
Oh yeah.
Watch her kill somebody.
Okay.
Almost.
She got a nice pop. Her family was there.
Mm-hmm. She was basically half the crowd was for her.
Yes. All right. Shout out to Demandy's Donuts. Their segment finally got on SmackDown Live. They were eating donuts, and Ember Moon comes up to her, and then DeVille and Moon get into a scuffle.
What else is new?
That's new. I've never seen it.
It was kind of stupid that Ember Moon was looking for Demandy, and they're like 10 feet away from her, and she asks Carmella, "Oh, have you seen her?" And then she like walks 5 steps, and they're right there.
Well, maybe she wasn't looking hard enough. She had those contacts in her eyes.
Maybe she's like one of those horses with their blinders on. They're just like this,
That's also a possibility. So thoughts on this little kerfuffle? We get another woman's feud on SmackDown that doesn't involve the head title.
Yeah, we didn't have one women's match on SmackDown.
Yes.
I mean, is this building towards Carmella and Ember Moon versus Demandy's Donuts?
I have no idea. Shout out to Maria Menounos. She's going to be on the latest episode. I don't know if it's dropped yet or what, but that's going to be interesting.
It's already dropped.
Oh, it has?
Every Tuesday.
I haven't seen it. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
We need to hang out with Sonya and Mandy and try these donuts. Because they got the donut plug.
Shout out Krispy Kreme. That's like their favorite donuts.
Oh,
Gotta get the hot glazed.
Apparently there's going to be a 24/7 opening up pretty soon. 24/7 Krispy Kreme. Maybe a Drake Maverick will show up with his newly won 24/7 title.
Yeah, after he marries his wife.
Yeah, he's getting married on the... Dude, oh my, if R-Truth invades the wedding and takes the title, I will pop for that. That will be so...
I mean, we need to have some sort of angle take place there.
Yeah, and look, we can't just keep winning the title with a roll-up. Like, let's...
We need a finisher or something.
Yeah, let's have, like, an actual match, like, once a week. Like, come on, guys.
Well, I don't think Drake Magic has a finisher, so there you go.
He's a wrestler. All wrestlers have finishers.
I don't know what the exact...
Well, no, that's when he was... Never mind.
You know everything. You told me you know everything. What was his name? Rockstar Spud?
Yeah. When he was him, he had a finisher, but now he's Drake Maverick, so he should have a different... Well, but he's not a wrestler, so he doesn't have a finisher because he's the manager of 205 Live, and I'm just rambling on incoherently for no apparent reason now, am I?
Yes, you are.
See, thank you. You at least acknowledge it.
Yeah. I mean, look, the better story was in Maverick never winning the title, in my opinion. Just him trying and trying and trying, but he never grabs the quote-unquote brass or gold or green ring, whatever the hell thing is made of.
It's like Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner.
Absolutely.
Except this time Wile E. Coyote actually won.
Abso-freaking-tootin'-lutely. Yeah. Somebody told me that. I can't remember who. I think it was Real TWC on Instagram. Shout out to them. All right,
but we need an angle at the wedding. That's all I want.
Yeah, that's all we want. All right, let's talk about Stomping Ground. Bulletcast title's not on the line because, honestly, this pay-per-view's not even worth it. But Brandon and I will be doing a recap instant analysis after the show, so look out for that Sunday night. So let's jump into it. The Raw Tag Team Championship, the Revival versus the Usos. I got Revival.
Yeah, I'll go with the Revival as well. I mean, I don't know how many times we've seen this match. Is this on the pre-show? Is it on the regular show?
No idea.
Who really cares? It's probably gonna be a good match, but I'm just gonna go with the Revival since they're Shane's boys. They're gonna keep those things.
The Usos.
Got the Usos, all right. Cruiserweight Championship, Tony Nese defends against Drew Gulak and Akira Tozawa. I got Nese.
I mean, I'm going to listen to what the young boy says because apparently he watches 205 Live, so he needs to get this one right like I get the NXT one.
I'm going to go with Akira Tozawa.
Okay.
I'll go with Drew Gulak just because apparently I heard some good things. He's been on NXT recently, had a nice feud with Kushida. Hopefully he gets that title.
But he lost his butt in the submission match against Kushida.
Yeah, hey, if you're wrong, I'm going to bury you on Twitter.
I'm sorry.
You know, I recapped the submission match with Kushida.
To tell the truth is, I pick people that I like, and I like Akira Tozawa. That's how I decide.
If I picked people that I liked, I wouldn't be champion.
You gotta pick with your mind, not your heart.
Yeah.
All I have is my heart. There's nothing up here. When God was out giving brains, I wasn't there. I was sick that day.
I can tell by this recording. All right, moving on. Moving on from
mean.
that, the New Day, Xavier Woods and Big E go up against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
I think Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn win it
they've been jobbing a lot.
Just, do some shenanigans and they lose. And I think Kofi's going to win in the end. So, 50-50 booking, have New Day lose, and then have Kofi win.
What do you got? New Day. All right, SmackDown Tag Team Championships, Daniel Bryan and Rowan go up against Heavy Machinery. I got the Planet Champions. Yeah,
I'll take the Planet's Champions as well. First match in the feud, I think. Maybe we get some sort of shenanigans going on, but I think having them win and then having Heavy Machinery chase. I think eventually they're going to win, but I think right now it's just not the time.
Yep. All right, the United States Championship, Samoa Joe versus Ricochet.
I think Samoa Joe, kind of similar to the SmackDown titles. It's early in the feud. Have Samoa Joe cheat, or maybe I don't think he's just gonna choke him out clean. But Ricochet's probably gonna get a nice high spot in there. But I think in the end, Samoa Joe's gonna win.
Yeah, I got Joe. What about you?
Ricochet.
Okay. SmackDown Women's Title, Bayley versus Alexa Bliss. I think Bayley retains.
I think I'll go with Alexa Bliss to win.
Wow.
I'm gonna go with the young boy. I'm gonna pick with my heart and not my brain.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Bayley.
Oh, okay. All right. He had a little smile on his face when he said that. You saw that?
I'll see you, boy.
Okay. Did you shoot your shot?
I always shoot my shot.
Oh. Hey-o.
I mean, you miss all the shots you don't take. So shooters got to shoot.
Hey, there you go. He's a straight shooter. Okay. The Universal Championship, Seth Rollins versus Baron Corbin. Rollins retains.
I think Rollins retains. We don't even know who the special guest referee is going to be. Maybe it's Brock Lesnar. I don't think it's going to be, but
that would be entertaining.
It would be entertaining, but it's probably just going to be like Elias or something.
All right. The big dog.
You know, it's the young boy who he thinks is going to win.
I'm sorry, young boy.
Seth Rollins, and by the way, you didn't let me pick for the Smackdown Tag Team Champions,
know.
which I think is Heavy Machinery. By the way, I don't mean to do your job, but there you go.
Don't touch me.
Oh, sorry.
Don't touch me. You just keep working yourself into a shoot, kid. All right. We have Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. I got McIntyre.
I'm probably going to go with McIntyre as well. They've been keeping him pretty strong, and Roman did get a pretty convincing beatdown on Shane and them on Raw. So 50-50 booking, I'll go with Drew. But, you never count the big dog out because you got to make Roman look good.
Yes.
Roman.
All right.
Short and sweet, just the way I like it.
Yep, there we go. The WWE Championship, Kofi Kingston versus Dolph Ziggler in a steel cage. I'm going with my heart like the young boy. My boy DZ. Long overdue. Let's take a WWE title home to Cleveland, goddammit. Who do you have, young boy?
Kofi Kingston.
Okay, what about you?
I'll go with Kofi as well.
Okay. All right.
Hopefully it is the last match on the show. Probably won't be, but...
Yeah, we'll see. Big E turns heel and sides with Ziggler and get a little reunion from that 2012-2013 run.
Slams the door on Kofi just like the Freebirds.
Ooh, classic. All right, Superstar Spotlight. Young boy, this is who shined brightest. Who you thought shined brightest throughout the week. For me, looking back on the week that was, I'm going to go with Bray Wyatt. Who you got?
I would have to go with the moment of bliss.
Okay, so Alexa.
Yeah, probably the Alexa with the Nikki Cross and the Bailey.
So all three of them are your Superstar Spotlight.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But especially,
Just that
especially Bailey.
segment.
Especially
Bailey.
Yeah, especially Bailey.
Them jeans, girl. All right. What about you?
I'll go off the beaten path. I've picked New Japan people recently. I'll go with a AAA person, or people. I'll go with the Lucha Bros, new AAA Tag Team Champions.
Okay, cool. All right, so promo pick of the week. It is Nick Bockwinkel as the AWA World's Champion, and he's taunting the American Dream Death the rule of the baby. This is May 13th, 1983. Honestly, Bockwinkel's promo, he was using all these elaborate words. It kind of reminded me when Nick Aldis was doing the 10 Pounds of Gold series going up against Cody at All In. It kind of reminded me of those promos. What do you think of the promo, Brandon?
Good promo. I think Nick Bockwinkel is fantastic. One of those wrestlers who was great during his time. Maybe a little underrated in terms of the mainstream wrestling fan.
Absolutely.
I think people just need to respect Nick Bockwinkel. He definitely carried that company. Him and Vern Gagne back in the 70s and 80s. Just great talent.
Yeah. Young boy?
Nick Bockwinkel was he was going off saying that he was talking about humility and how he doesn't need humility in the situation that he's in, but there should always be humility because one day someone's going to come up and kick you in the butt, and then what happens, So there should always be that humility because karma comes around,
Yes. All right, close match.
Just like the man comes around.
Hey-o. Close match pick of the week. Brandon, take it away.
So we got from the WWE Hidden Gems section on the network from June 7th, 1981 Wrestling Star Wars. We got the Great Kabuki going up against Bruiser Brody in a Steel Cage Texas death match. Great Kabuki wearing some white pants, different than his normal black attire. Yeah. I think you can figure out why if you watch wrestling long enough. And, pretty good match. Crowd was hot for it. And the little stipulation here is that if Bruiser Brody wins, Gary Hart has to go into the ring with Fritz von Erich, and I think you can tell who's going to win this match. Hot crowd, maybe not the best in-ring, high-flying tactical match by today's standards, but it's always nice to look back and see what wrestling was 30-plus years ago.
Absolutely. Great Kabuki was Alexa Bliss's favorite wrestler as a kid.
I thought it was like, Lita or something, but, shout out to Alexa Bliss, like the Great Kabuki.
Yeah, no, wrestling historian, just like myself.
Mm-hmm. Hey, everyone says Alexa Bliss don't like wrestling, but, if she loves Great Kabuki, she must know something.
Exactly. What are your thoughts, young boy?
With the match, I do appreciate the Great Kabuki with I like when he goes on the top rope and he did a lot of judo chops, a lot of palm strikes, and I like on how he because back then there wasn't a lot of on the top rope type things that we see today, so it was nice to see him walk along top rope, kind of like an Undertaker thing. and Bruiser Brody has his own style, that brawler type mentality, which was great to see, and it was just an all out great match.
Absolutely. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap up this recording. You can follow us on Twitter at BulletCast, Instagram, The BulletCast, YouTube channel, The BulletCast. Email us, BulletCast2 is in the number 2, SWEET@gmail.com, 99.9 FM KW, and watch them every Friday night from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Patreon. We're on Pro Wrestling Tees. Please go look at the link in our bio on Twitter or Instagram. Click that link, and it takes you right to the store. Our current design is up there right now, our current logo. We're going to have more in the coming future. Go listen to Brandon's Under the Radar. Plug that mailbag, man.
Yeah, it's utrmailbag@gmail.com. UTR as in undertheradar.com. Gmail.com. We don't have a website for that yet. Maybe coming soon.
Absolutely. And
I'm waiting for somebody to email. The one time someone actually did email, I didn't respond to them. I felt like an a-hole.
Oh yeah, what's that Al Lewis guy? Yeah, Al. He didn't write in next week, dude. Thank you to the young boy number 2 for being on the show. This was undisputedly an entertaining episode. This is one I will never forget.
Definitely.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the BC. Go check out my interview with former Yolo County Tag Team Champions Dave Dutra, AJ Kirsch. We will see you next time. Ta-ta for now.
This has been the Bulletcast. Thank you for listening.